Switch 2 rumor time, but you know what? This is gotta be the one. This is gonna be the one that ends up being true. It actually is a pretty big one. A lot of people do seem to be quite confident in it. The information kind of seems to be coming from all over the place, with a number of people corroborating it, at the very least. A lot of it comes from Centro Leaks, who cited a Brazilian streamer named TVPH. A lot of it from a user named LIC from Famiboards. I don't know. Point is, though, it seems that they are using data from shipments and customs between Nintendo, Nvidia, and other companies. Seems complicated to me, but for whatever reason, this makes it seem pretty plausible for a number of people. I honestly don't know. Just give me the info, the rumor. We'll talk about it, all the other details, whatever. So if this ends up being accurate, if this is actually leaked info about the Switch 2, then that would mean that we now know the Switch 2's specs. We know more or less how powerful it is. Well, okay, not necessarily. We don't have. I don't know if we have info on the CPU or the GPU, but we have the whatever. I'll just read it. Okay, 12 gigabytes of RAM with two 6 gigabyte LPDDR5X modules. I know what most of that means, but I'm not gonna say it, because I don't have time. But I do know that 12 gigs of RAM is nothing to shake a stick at. It's really not bad. And allegedly it will also have 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage. Once more, don't know what UFS 3.1 is, but I know that 256 gigabytes, that's not bad. That's really not bad. I mean, the original Switch had 32. I'm thinking, like, what are they going to give us, 64? You know, like, Nintendo loves to cheap out on that kind of thing. But, like, 256, okay, yeah, all right. We'll be able to download, like, a few games, maybe. So that's pretty good. People are also saying that there's going to be a microphone in the controller. I would assume that whatever is in the controller is also going to be either in the Joy-Cons or the system itself. So some sort of built-in microphone might end up being a thing, which would, I don't know, suggest more communication, I guess. Not a camera, but just a microphone. A little bit interesting. And then there's some other information that we've had for a while that is being further corroborated, such as the Switch 2 having an 8-inch display and being fully backwards compatible. Those are two things that a lot of people are saying, so I would not be surprised if it ended up being true. One issue, though, is that one source is saying that the Switch 2 will have an 8-core Cortex A7 8AE processor, but then that same source says that it will have 8 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, which is inconsistent with the other leaks, so, you know, which one do you believe? Either one of those is untrue, or they are both untrue. Both of those outcomes seem just as likely. So if all of this is true, then that would suggest that the Switch 2 will not just be about as powerful as a PS4, but a PS4 Pro. And that, to me, is really surprising. And that... And I've said it before, whenever anyone suggests that it's going to be stronger than, like, a, you know, Xbox One, PS4, that gets me feeling pretty skeptical, mostly because I just don't know why it would be. Nintendo is only going to make their system as powerful as they need it to be. The Switch was really underpowered, and it still got the job done really well. And so at this point, like, if they're always one generation behind, then PS4, Xbox One, that's exactly what you need to aim for. Why would they need it to be stronger than that? And my only real thinking is that maybe we're just at this point where the tech is just getting that good. You know, mobile chips are just getting cheaper and cheaper, so it didn't really cost them that much to make it that powerful. Maybe just somehow it ended up being surprisingly convenient to make it as strong as, like, a PS4 Pro. And you know what? It could suggest that they're pivoting slightly in their whole philosophy with the Switch 2, instead of doing another kind of underpowered system a little bit behind the competition so they can keep costs low. It could be, I mean, this is a whole thing. I've been thinking about this recently. I almost want to do, like, a whole video just on this, kind of setting up this theory, but I'll just spoil it now. What if the Switch was so successful it's still selling so well that they're like, we should introduce the new system and actually make it a bit more powerful than we would have originally, and price it higher than we would normally price our new systems. Make it a little bit more in line with the other, like, current gen systems. Make it like a luxury item, so it means that it will get fewer sales right off the bat, but in the meantime, the Switch is still selling. They reduce the price of the original Switch, make that this incredible budget system, just keep riding that Switch One wave as long as they can. Then eventually the tech gets cheaper and cheaper, and once they have finally sold as many Switches as they possibly can, now look at that, we can reduce the price on the Switch 2, and now we have this much more powerful system that we are now, after a couple years, able to sell at a much more affordable, much more competitive price. If it is true that the Switch 2 is about as powerful as a PS4 Pro, then that could be what Nintendo is doing. It absolutely could. It's either that, or it just wasn't that expensive to make it that powerful because the tech just happens to be there. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, if it is that strong, that's just so far beyond what I expected. So, like, that would be great. That would mean that there was a much higher chance of us playing these beautiful first-party Nintendo games, but actually at a decently high resolution and frame rate, maybe? Is that wishful thinking? I don't know. But, like, the graphics on the Switch 2, they don't need to be that much better than the Switch. They really don't need to be that much better. Just run better, look a little better, and then just high resolution, high frame rate. There you go. So if it's true, the Switch 2 is this powerful, then that would be fantastic. Oh yeah, and then finally it seems people are claiming that the next system will be released in May of 2025 and revealed later this year, like in the fall. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I guess if they were going to release it on the same, like, timeline as the original Switch, so like in March, you know, kind of the change over the fiscal year, then I would say definitely they would have to maybe reveal it by, like, the end of this year, at least like a tease. But if they were going to release it in May, I think they could safely reveal the thing in, like, January and not have that conflict with the holiday season. So yeah, I don't know. Would they need to reveal it this year if they weren't going to release it till May? I'm not sure. I don't want to wait a year. Come on. Just give it to us. I don't want to wait a year. Come on. Just come on. Do you have any idea how hard it is to be a Nintendo YouTuber right now? In this void of news before the release of a new console? It's terrible. Another year of this. At least like a half a year. Once they start revealing stuff, that's when things, at least like another half a year of this. Oh, it's awful. At least we have 1,000 Year Door this month. Oh, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm going to stream it. I'm going to stream it. Remember this. When the game comes out, I'm going to stream it. Come watch me stream it. It's going to be great.